Hi, my name is Keith Cooper of Northlight Images, and this short video is about a new very small flash gun I've been testing. I don't use flash a lot. Well, I do in some of my industrial photography, but I don't do portrait and things like that. So I often want flash just for fill-in, just for occasional use. Now, I've got some proper flash equipment, and I've also got some studio flash equipment, but for small things, I'm just having a quick look at this Godox iT30Pro. It's a tiny little flash gun. This is it. Weighs 120 grams. And one of the key uses for me is that it's USB charged. It's got lithium batteries inside it. And you don't need to keep remembering to take around batteries with you. It charges, USB socket on the side of it, it charges. Now this is the Fuji version of it, and I've been using this with the GFX 100S here. Now this is not a standard GFX lens you can see on it. This is in fact an old Russian Helios 58mm f2 lens. It's a screw fit lens. I've got a screw fit to G mount adapter, so it's fully manual. And for something like that, I'm going to be using the flash probably in manual mode, although actually with the TTL settings on it, because this is the dedicated Fuji version of it. This will work on the little Fuji cameras as well. Because of that, it works a treat on it with a TTL or manual. Now, it's got all sorts of other tricks with it as well. One of the nice features on it is that it has a touch screen. So if I press the power button on it, I can either use the wheel on the top, or I can just slide across it, and lo and behold, it comes on. It's got a nice, bright, clear display on the back, and it's come up remembering what it was, TTL mode, and I can change the flash compensation. I can use it touchscreen, or I can use the dial on the top. Now, there are other modes and things as well for it. It fits very nicely on top of the flash, on top of the camera here. And it works. As I say, it's a Fuji dedicated flash, so it works with the Fuji flash system. But of course, I'm using an old bit of glass on the front here, and as far as the camera is concerned, there is no lens on the front. Now, I've changed the adapter settings in the GFX 100 menus here to tell it that it's a 58mm lens. That's useful for image stabilization. But the aperture details and everything like that, well, as far as it's concerned, there's nothing there. There is no EXIF data or anything like that. Now, that does limit some of the flash functionality a little bit, but it's not a great problem. What I want this for is for fill-in, for simple flash, when I'm doing things and pieces. There's a couple of pictures I just took here in the office. One outside looking at the big print on the wall, and another one which is looking at the lighting system I'm using here, and you can see the camera that I'm actually shooting this on, the Canon EOS RP. Now, this lens is one that I first used many years ago on film. It has enough, so it's 58mm, it has enough coverage that it works on the small medium format sensor of this. If you do it at f2, you will get distinct vignetting in the corners, but not a hard cutoff. There is enough coverage for it, and the lens works quite well on it. I've looked elsewhere at adapted lenses on this. I do like experimenting with old lenses. I've got lots of stuff on old lenses. I'll put some links in the notes. So the flash itself went to sleep there. Just touch it and it's woken up. It has a little adjustment on the side of it, so you can set it for the normal, relatively narrow beam of flash, or you can set it says W, it's a diffuser, so it gives a more diffuse light. But you're never going to get fancy flash effects from something that is this close to the lens. You're always going to get it that. And in fact, if there is a difficulty with this flash, and there is an optional flash extender for it, is that if I put, instead of this little old lens here that I think cost me £5 perhaps, if I put this rather more expensive 45 to 100 Fuji lens on it, then it's long enough that there is flash shadow. The front of the lens is shadow, and you can see in the pictures with the light doesn't meet it, so the light really needs to be extended. Now I could use for this, I could put the flash offline. It does work with a flash cord, so you can use it with that as well, but in general it's not for things like that. This is just for general use. Now it does actually tie in with some of my flash that I do use for work. Now I haven't got any of the kit here because we're moving house in about a month or so, and nearly all my stuff that I don't regularly use is in storage, including quite a lot of my studio flash kit and things like that. Don't use it that often. I know where it is if I should need it in a hurry. But with this, I can use this. It has built-in network control, so it can control a network of flashes. And in fact, much of the functionality of this I could use, because I could replicate this flash controller. Now, this is a Godox X Pro, once again Fuji version of it. This is a multi-flash controller, so I can use this. I can put flash around the place, so I can set it up. This one controls it. This one has built-in 2.4 gigahertz setting for that, so you can use this as a flash commander as well. It can work as a slave flash as well, so you can do all the usual multi-flash stuff and things like that, but that needs quite a bit of setting up normally, and as I say, I don't have the kit here. But you might consider one of these, if you've got some other Godox flashes, as a basic commander control unit for it. So if you've got a network of flashes and you want to control them, you can control them by this. Not with the complexity that you can with this, but this one, I know, this one actually has AA batteries in it. So if this one's not been used for a while, I have to check those AA batteries. Whereas this, because it's got a built-in lithium battery, I can just pop a USB plug into it and it will charge. Now, there is a slight downside there in that at some point the batteries here are going to fail. Now, I have not checked this, but the specs suggest you'll get over 500 full power flashes from a charge of the batteries. And you can charge it off a power bank or something like that, so it's not too difficult. So I've got the rather fancy version here of a flash controller, the Godox one, I say the X Pro, or something a little bit more portable, little bit easier to use, and that doubles as a flash. Now, as I say, my only real complaint is that I have to be careful with the lenses on it if I'm using it photographically, that the flash, that I don't get, you know, shading from the front. Certainly, as I say, this one here, and that's without the lens hood on it. Put the lens hood on it and you would get your pictures with like a big black curve in there. Something I remember from years ago when I've forgotten left a lens hood on a lens when I was shooting film, and you couldn't check immediately then, so slightly different. But anyway, Godox iT30, very useful. Any downsides to it? Well, I say potentially long-term use, maybe because the battery is not replaceable, but in general, if you want a little flash that and has the controllability for other flashes, it's worth a look. So I think this one will be going into my bag. I put more technical details and things in the notes for it. If you're interested, do have a look at that. This is just one that I've been asked to have a look at, and unlike many things I'm asked to have a look at, this one actually works well with other kit I've got and stuff. So yeah, this one's quite useful, and it's flashing a green light at me, which presumably tells me that it's gone to sleep. Yeah, there we go, it's woken up again. So you've got control of all the bits, it gets multi-flash and bits. If you want to see what it does, have a look at the specifications. It does come with a little booklet, but the text in this is so small that even if I put 2 pairs of glasses on, I cannot read that, but you can get it as a PDF. Anyway, there you go, Godox iT30Pro. Quite a nifty little flash. If you've got any questions, please feel free to ask. I will try and do some more coverage of flash related stuff and that once we've moved and I've got a more permanent setup and somewhere I can do testing and things like that. It would be quite interesting to show how you can use this to do, you know, to control other flash units and the likes of that. And also, I'll take it with me when I do some more testing of lenses like this, because these old lenses, they may not cost much, but they're quite fun to use. This one, yeah, I'll use this on paying jobs. not yet had a paying job I'd use this one on, but I say this one's fun to use. This one, quality wise, spot on. That one, well, £5, who cares? Anyway, thanks for watching. Please do the usual like and subscribe, and bye.